Here's the latest commission, which is to make a 1960 size O ring from this Florin. So I think I'm going to punch the entire rose out so that this line here, oops, let's try and get a better view, becomes the non-reeded side. Now, whoops, this is a reasonable example of a 1960 Florin. It has been in circulation by the look of it, but it's still retained a fair amount of the detail. The other reason I think it's probably been in circulation is because there's a little bit of mark and tarnish in there, but that's going to be where I punch the centre out anyway. So the next is to burn it, anneal it, and then pop a hole in, see what it looks like. There are two options for punching out in the middle of a Florin. Because this has got such a nice design, what we want to do is use this as the outside edge of the band. This is obviously the other outside edge, the reed edge. And because these are pre-decimal, they're also millimeter measurements. So the two options are 3/8 and 7/16. Now that would punch nicely, but I suspect would leave too much here on the points. Now I should know because I've made dozens of these, but this one I want to be absolutely cock on. So I think, yeah, I think 7/16 is going to be the size to go with, which is about 11 mil. Yeah, I think that will leave us a nice definition of the circle around the rose. So that's what we're going to go for, 7/16. Right, go and bash a hole in it. The moment of panic where people always think, ah, what's he doing? Now a bit more. Safety first, turn off the main bottle as well. There we have a nicely burnt, annealed 2 shilling. And it always seems strange to people that, hang on, what am I doing? I'm looking at that through the, yeah, it doesn't matter. Right, yeah, that's okay. Good. Next we plonk it in there and punch a hole in it. If you've watched any of these videos before, you'll know this is the moment of no return. And that is the hole. And what we need to do is take that out of there and see how well we have captured the circle around the rose. I think that is about as perfect as you're likely to get. You see, what people forget is all of these old coins were made to a measurement of imperial, so it's quite likely that that circle was designed to be 7/16. So now I need to just clean the inside of that punched hole with the deburring tool and some sandpaper, very fine sandpaper, to polish it, because the slightest imperfection, I don't know if that's going to show up on there, probably won't focus very well. The slightest imperfection when I go to start the fold can split, and then we've lost the entire coin. And we don't have a coin ring, as I've said before. That's the transitional period between being a beautifully historic coin ring and being scrap metal. Right, clean it up and start the fold. First fold. I've just re-annealed it. Didn't video that because I thought everyone's seen me annealing coins before. So that's the first fold, and we use this little stainless steel folding die to start that off. And then we could also have used a ball bearing, but I prefer, wait, don't go away, don't. Right, good. That then is the start of making it a ring. Look at that. So we will clean that up a bit more. It's not bad though, is it? I can't see any imperfections there. Maybe a titch. No, that's good. So what we do, we clean it up, we burn it again, anneal it, and then carry on folding it until we have something resembling a ring. Lovely coins, these florins, from a time when, I don't know, just the detailing seemed so much nicer than what we tend to have now. Anyway, enough of this reminiscing nonsense. Let's get making this into a ring. You join me a not inconsiderable amount of time later, after having stretched one side and squished t'other, and it is now resembling a ring. Look at that. Whoa, safety first, turn the main tank off as well. I'm always paranoid that I'm going to forget that. In fact, you know, a few weeks ago, I woke up halfway through the night wondering whether I'd turned it off. Sorry, that's not COVID, that's me breathing in smoky fumes. And I actually got dressed and went into the workshop to check. Really? I know. What can you say? Good. We have the makings of a ring. We want the final shaping and then sizing. Final shaping, sizing, polishing and finishing. I need to go check the order, but I think they wanted a kind of like a light patina just to give it a little bit of age. But what a beautiful coin. Right, next, finish the shaping on the shaping, stretching, squishing machine. This is the final bit of stretching, and it's on this machine here that as the spindle pushes up, it pushes these splines out and stretches obviously whatever's on them. Now this is, and the reason I've got some kitchen paper here is obviously because metal on metal would destroy the inside detail. You're always going to lose a little bit of detail from the inside of a coin. It's inevitable, but if I just show you in there, we want to keep as much of that as we can. Now, the issue with making a ring out of something which is thicker on one side than the other is this needs to be a size O. So the size O needs to be on the reed side. So I'm going to have to shave a little bit more from the inside of the reed here. This is going to be larger than size O. It's inevitable, because if this was size O and this was size O, we'd have a cone, because that isn't as thick as that. Does that make sense? Yeah, of course that makes sense. So for it to look like a ring, this side will be larger, but it will be a size O on the reed side. Stop wibbling. Come on, Martin, get on with it. Right, well, this is the big reveal, I suppose, isn't it? We have a ring shape. Now those edges are reasonably straight. They're not going to be reasonably straight all the way around. There's going to be a slight little bit of telltale cone because of the way the reed side is thicker. But I'm actually rather pleased with that. We've got a nice bit of detail there, and if this focuses properly, I'm glad I settled on the 7/16. That's really worked nicely. So in 1960 Florin, when I send this back to the customer, I will send it with a 1966, because I've got loads of 1966 brand new uncirculated florins, so that the customer can then show their friends what sort of coin it was made from, innit? And next though, I'm going to spend a little bit of time polishing this up, and I'm going to go and check the order. That's nice. I've kept most of that reed undeformed. When you squish it in, sometimes you get a bit of deformation on it, but yeah, that's nice. I'm going to go and check what finish they've specified. I think they said a kind of a light patina, which is sort of like basically make it look a little bit old. And then I'm going to probably put a ceramic lacquer on there, which will wear off in time. You can repolish it and put nail varnish lacquer on, but the ceramic lacquer is the hardest wearing one I think I've found. Good, right, this has been an hour and 17 minutes now, so pretty good going. Let's see how it's looking when polished. Right. Yes, that has. Are you going to focus? Please focus. Focus nicely. There's a good camera. It's not actually, it's a phone, but yeah. That's rather jolly. That light's a bit too bright. That's better. I like that in that polished state. I'm not sure whether aging it would do it any justice, actually. I know I'm going to have to publish this video now and ask the customer what they think. But inside detail, really nice. Oh yeah, oops, come on, focus. Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I really do like that. I'm very proud of that. And I'm going to call that a day now. Final decision to be made regarding the finish, whether or not we do try and age it. But I think that's lovely like that. I'll be tempted just to put the lacquer, the ceramic lacquer, straight onto that. I wish we had nice coins like this now, and also coins that weren't just made of steel. It's almost impossible to make a nice coin ring out of steel. These are copper nickel, which is a nice metal to work with. It's not as nice as silver, but it is still a nice metal to work with. Right, okay, that's that for that. Job done.